We might not see them, but rare earth minerals are everywhere. They are essential ingredients in countless products we use every day. Our smartphones, computers, and televisions rely on them to function. These minerals are also critical for national security. They are used in advanced weapon systems, jet engines, and missile guidance systems. Without them, modern militaries would be severely hampered. Despite their name, rare earth minerals are not actually that rare. They are found in various parts of the world. However, extracting and processing them is a complex and expensive process. This is where the issue of supply and demand comes into play. China has emerged as the dominant player in the global rare earth industry. This dominance didn't happen overnight. It is the result of strategic planning and substantial investments over many years. Over the past few decades, China has invested heavily in developing its rare earth mining and processing capabilities. These investments have included not only the extraction of these valuable minerals, but also the establishment of state-of-the-art processing facilities. Today, it controls the lion's share of global production. In fact, China accounts for more than 80% of the world's rare earth supply, a staggering figure that underscores its dominance. This dominance gives China significant leverage in the global market. With such control, China can influence global prices and availability, making it a key player in international trade negotiations. They can control the supply and price of these critical minerals, influencing the fate of industries and nations that rely on them. Rare earth minerals are essential for a wide range of high-tech applications, from smartphones to electric vehicles, and even military hardware. In a move that sent shockwaves through the global market, China recently banned the export of 7 heavy rare earth minerals to the United States. This decision has far-reaching implications, affecting not just the tech industry, but also national security. These minerals are particularly crucial for high-tech applications and defense industries. Without a steady supply, the production of advanced electronics, renewable energy technologies, and sophisticated defense systems could be severely hampered. This ban is a clear indication of China's willingness to use its dominance in the rare earth sector as a geopolitical tool. By leveraging its control over these essential minerals, China can exert pressure on other nations to achieve its strategic objectives. This move has raised serious concerns in the U.S. and other countries dependent on Chinese rare earths. Policymakers and industry leaders are now urgently seeking alternative sources and strategies to reduce their reliance on China, but this is no easy task given the current global supply chain dynamics. The Chinese ban on rare earth exports to the U.S. has significant implications for the U.S. economy, particularly for its technology and defense sectors. Rare earth minerals are critical components in a wide range of high-tech products, from smartphones and electric vehicles to advanced defense systems. The U.S. relies heavily on China for its rare earth supply. In fact, China controls over 80% of the global rare earth market, making the U.S. highly dependent on Chinese exports for these essential materials. The ban threatens to disrupt supply chains, increase costs, and potentially stifle innovation in key industries. Companies may face delays in production and higher prices for raw materials, which could be passed on to consumers. This dependence on China for rare earths has become a strategic vulnerability for the U.S. The geopolitical tensions between the two countries only exacerbate this issue, highlighting the need for a more resilient supply chain. The defense industry is particularly vulnerable to this ban. Rare earth elements are crucial for the development and maintenance of advanced military technologies. Rare earths are essential for many advanced weapons systems, including fighter jets, missiles, and drones. Without a steady supply, the production and deployment of these systems could be severely impacted. A shortage of these materials could hamper the U.S. military's ability to maintain its technological edge. This could have far-reaching consequences for national security and global military balance. The ban has served as a wake-up call for the U.S. government and industry leaders. They are now acutely aware of the risks associated with over-reliance on a single foreign supplier for critical materials. They are now scrambling to find alternative sources of rare earths and reduce their reliance on China. Efforts are being made to develop domestic mining operations, invest in recycling technologies, and explore partnerships with other countries. In response to the Chinese ban, the U.S. has ramped up efforts to establish a domestic rare earth supply chain. This includes exploring new mining projects within the U.S. and investing in research and development of alternative materials. However, building a domestic rare earth industry from scratch is a daunting task. Mining and processing rare earths is a complex and environmentally challenging process. It requires significant investment and expertise. The U.S. is also exploring ways to recycle rare earths from existing products. Recycling could provide a valuable supplemental source of these critical minerals. While these efforts are promising, it will take time for the U.S. to achieve self-sufficiency in rare earths. In the meantime, the U.S. remains vulnerable to Chinese influence. Geopolitical chessboard: rare earths as pawns in a global power struggle. In the intricate game of global politics, rare earth elements have emerged as critical pieces on the chessboard. The recent ban on rare earth exports is a stark reminder that these minerals have become pawns in the ongoing geopolitical rivalry between the United States and China. These elements, essential for modern technology, are now at the heart of a strategic tug-of-war. The trade war between the two superpowers has further escalated tensions over rare earths. Tariffs and sanctions have only added fuel to the fire, making the competition fiercer and more complex. China's dominance in this sector gives it significant leverage in its dealings with the United States. With over 80% of the world's rare earth production, China holds a powerful card in this high-stakes game. The United States, on the other hand, is trying to reduce its dependence on China and secure its own supply chains. Efforts are underway to explore alternative sources and invest in domestic production capabilities. This competition over rare earths has the potential to further destabilize the global economy and even lead to conflict. The stakes are high, and the consequences of a misstep could be severe, affecting industries from electronics to defense. The situation highlights the need for international cooperation and dialogue to ensure a stable and equitable supply of these critical resources. Only through collaborative efforts can we hope to navigate this complex landscape and avoid the pitfalls of a zero-sum game. The economic fallout. Assessing the damage and predicting the future. The economic fallout from the Chinese ban is already being felt in the United States. Prices for rare earths have skyrocketed, increasing manufacturing costs for companies that rely on these materials. This price hike could lead to higher prices for consumers on a range of products, from smartphones and computers to electric vehicles and wind turbines. The ban also threatens to slow down innovation in key industries. Without a reliable and affordable supply of rare earths, companies may be hesitant to invest in new technologies that rely on these materials. The long-term economic impact of the ban will depend on how quickly the United States can secure alternative sources of rare earths and develop substitutes for these critical minerals. Beyond the battlefield, the impact on consumer technology and green energy. The impact of the rare earth ban extends far beyond the defense industry. Rare earths are essential components in many consumer electronics, including smartphones, laptops, and televisions. The ban could lead to higher prices for these devices, making them less accessible to consumers. Moreover, rare earths are crucial for the development of green technologies such as electric vehicles, wind turbines, and solar panels. These technologies rely on rare earths for their magnets, batteries, and other components. Disruptions in the supply of rare earths could hinder the transition to a more sustainable energy future. Seeking solutions. Breaking the stranglehold and ensuring supply chain resilience. The current situation underscores the urgent need for the United States and other nations to reduce their reliance on China for rare earths. This includes investing in domestic mining and processing, recycling existing materials, and developing substitutes for rare earths. International collaboration is also crucial. By working together, countries can share resources, expertise, and reduce their dependence on any single supplier. Diversifying supply chains is another essential step. By sourcing rare earths from multiple countries, nations can mitigate the risk of supply disruptions. Developing a more circular economy for rare earths is also essential. This involves recycling and reusing these valuable materials, reducing the need for new mining. A call for cooperation, averting crisis through dialogue and collaboration. The ongoing trade war and the weaponization of rare earths are detrimental to the global economy and international security. A protracted conflict will only lead to further disruption and uncertainty. It is in the best interest of all parties to find a peaceful resolution to the trade war. Dialogue and diplomacy are essential to ease tensions and find common ground. The international community must work together to establish a framework for the responsible and sustainable management of rare earth resources. This includes promoting transparency, environmental protection, and fair trade practices. Only through cooperation and a shared commitment to global well-being can we ensure a stable and prosperous future for all.